Welcome to After Dark at the Fixed Ops Roundtable, featuring Katrina Ness, Vanessa Collins, and Ted Ings. This episode is brought to you by BG Products, partners beyond products. And now for your hosts, Ted Ings, Vanessa Collins, and Katrina Ness.
Good evening, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Tonight, we have a guest who came ready with his 90s background and all. Tonight, we are joined by the Vice President of Marketing at MyKaarma, Matt Bateman.
Hey, guys. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Great to see you, my friend. Thanks for being here on Wednesday night. And Katrina, thank you for the opening. Vanessa, thank you as well. So, Vanessa, we're live tonight, right?
We are live.
Awesome. Guys, I got to tell you, that opening got me pumped up here. That 90s intro reminded me of driving in my mid-90s Ford Escort when I was in high school and listening to techno. So that got me pumped up there.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. And you know who else is pumped up tonight is Sean Kingery out in Wisconsin, because Vanessa, I understand he is leaving on a cruise, a nice warm weather cruise, I think in the morning. So Sean, good luck on that as well. And thank you for joining us tonight. And the reason for the 90s that's going on here, Katrina, tell us a little bit about what's coming up next month, I guess.
Of course. So we have our big Fixed Ops Roundtable 90s Rewind event coming up May 13th through the 16th. You can get your complimentary tickets now at fixedopsroundtable.com. Again, they are complimentary, and with the purchase of your ticket, or not purchase, and with the reserving, I guess I could say, of your ticket. And if you follow Fixed Ops Roundtable and Dealer Scanning on LinkedIn, you can get entered into a giveaway to win a free Apple Vision Pro. So get your tickets now and follow those two accounts, and this $300 or $3,500 value product could be yours.
That's right, Apple Vision. Matt, have you seen the Apple Vision Pro yet?
I've seen it. I haven't worn it yet, but I'm thinking it's only a matter of time before the Fixed Ops Roundtable is completely virtual and we're all wearing Apple Pros and we feel like we're in the same room together.
I think that's what we're setting everybody up for, right? With the Apple Vision Pro.
I love it.
And by the way, Katrina, so if they don't want the Apple Vision Pro, we're going to give them the cash, right?
Yep, they can have the $3,500 in cash if the Apple Vision Pro is too techy for you.
So exciting stuff. So
yeah.
And then tonight, I believe towards the end of the show, Vanessa, you've got a little bit of 90s trivia for us, just a little bit, right?
Yes, it's a short one, but it'll be super exciting. So make sure to stay till the end because we are doing our 90s trivia.
All right. So Matt, you've been involved with the Fixed Ops. You and MyKaarma have been very involved with the Fixed Ops Roundtable for a long time, since the early days. And we're grateful to you, and also for what you do on mobile service and that panel with Ed Roberts and with Mark Mickens and that superstar Jim Sabino lately, who's come on strong, and of course Matt Bateman. And Matt, you got a lot in store with us for us at the next event, I know, on the mobile side as well.
I mean, every time we do it, I'm thinking, well, we've got to run out of stuff to talk about with mobile service, but we never do. There's always more things, more technology, more processes, more dealers getting excited about it. So I love it. It's just an awesome conversation every time.
It is. And Tracy, welcome, Tracy. I've actually been meaning to reach out to you because I know you had a medical procedure a little while back. So, great to see you here. And thanks for all you do for the industry. So we're very appreciative of you as well. So I know the ladies have some questions for you tonight on MyKaarma, the technology that you bring to customers and dealerships. So ladies, I'll let you have at it with Matt Bateman.
Thank you, Ted. Well, Matt, our first question for you, simple but effective. What is MyKaarma?
Oh, well, that's a softball one. I think I can answer that one, of course. I think it's quick to say, what was MyKaarma in the past? And I think a lot of viewers may just go, oh, they're that texting and payments company out there. And that's true. That's how we got started in the business, right? We revolutionized communications and payments, and we continue to do that in that space as well. But we've really become that full-fledged, as Ted was saying, we're a full technology offering for service departments. So we're doing everything from scheduling to videos to multi-point inspections to the pickup and delivery tools that we were just talking about. Not just texting, but full communication with voice, email, texting. We've got other tools with BDCs. The list goes on and on. And if you're to drill all that down, well, why do we have all that? And I see Tony says you use it. Tony, thank you. I appreciate that. We're a customer interaction tool, right? There's a lot of customer relation management tools out there. We believe in those interactions, and we do everything through communications, everything to make that process with a vehicle owner a better process, both for the vehicle owner and the employees at the dealership. So that's what we do.
Wow, sophisticated. And Tony, I'd be remiss by not congratulating you on your quick recovery also. So we saw the surgery last week. Tony had knee replacement surgery, I think one knee, last week. And he's up walking around. I'm seeing him on Facebook this weekend. I'm like, okay, slow down, Tony. And I guess you had a great report today. So they said, no more walking with that cane thing. So good for you.
It's amazing. Not to get off track here, Tony, I hope you're having a great recovery here. My father had knee surgery, and if it was anything like yours, they're making you walk on it that afternoon that you had the surgery. Blew my mind on here. And now my father's out doing 40-mile bike rides on his bike. So get well, Tony. Awesome. Thanks, Sean. Appreciate the comment there.
Sean says you're a great partner with the entire dealership, not just Fixed Ops. Matt, tell us about that. I'm not aware of that.
Yeah. Our focus has always been on fixed ops, but we've been expanding our. You can jump up and down. That's incredible. Our communication piece goes across the entire dealership, right? So we're talking to the BDC, the service department, the parts department. We have sales departments that are using the tools as well. So you get a full view of the customer and payments as well, right? Why would you just limit our payment pieces to what you're doing on the service lane when you can do it across the entire dealership? So he's absolutely right that it goes across the entire dealership.
By the way, everybody, if you have questions for Matt Bateman at MyKaarma, leave them in the chat. We'll get to them tonight. So any questions from our colleagues and friends in Fixed Ops, Matt is here to address those. And you also bring that mobile piece to life also, Matt. Recently when we started doing the mobile panel, I learned a lot about what MyKaarma can do there as well.
Yeah. And, the thread on everything we do is it ties back into, the communication piece. So, there's no point in just having a tool unless you can actually have it all work seamlessly together. I think that's what really sets it apart. Okay, every dealership does this, right? You log into this system for this tool, you log into this system for this tool. Well, this one says it works with this one and it doesn't. Things like mobile service, right? It ties right back into that communication piece. So your customer can get a text on that same phone number and see exactly where what the status is of that driver. Right? They can communicate with that driver, and guess what? It goes right to that driver's phone, right to their MyKaarma application. And when you want to pay, it's all through the same text number, right? Everything's just there in one place. If you're like me, I've got enough systems, I've got enough emails, I've got enough phone numbers. If I can consolidate things into one place, I'll take it. And so we're trying to do the same thing for dealers, especially with mobile service on that.
Jonathan Overton is in the chat tonight. I don't know if the ladies know John. But John, good evening. Your baby daughter is beautiful. I saw the pictures with your folks on over the weekend and last weekend on Easter as well. So John is up in Canada, was a #1 salesperson for General Motors in Western Canada not long ago. And I met him on social media and he was doing some really unique stuff. And now look at that picture, how cleaned up he is now. He's all, nice shaven and wearing a suit and tie. And John came down to our studio in LA, Matt, and filmed some tip of the day videos with us back when we were in our infancy. So, and John, we've come a long way since those days, haven't we? So, well, great stuff. Ladies, I'm sorry, I had to jump in.
No, you are 100% okay. So, Matt, another question for you. What is going on in the payments and the surcharge space with dealerships right now?
A good question. And let's take a step back from dealerships for a second and just talk about what's going on with all of us as consumers in the world of payments. And, a couple things changed, in the last couple of years. Everywhere has that little video, has that little
Hey guys, it's Caesar with Dealer Scanning.
Everything's got,
He's everywhere.
That wasn't me, I promise. You go into restaurants, you go into stores, and they've got these little areas that you can tap on, right, to pay for your service. And then, they're asking you for your tip, and they want a 25, 30, 35% tip. Well, we don't do tips at dealerships, but how many times have you gone out to dinner and you pay the credit card and you get it back and it says, oh, there's a 3% surcharge on this, right? And how much does that annoy you, right? That annoys me. And here's the reality, though, and I think this is what a lot of our viewers know tonight, is the reason those surcharges are on those bills, whether it's at a dealership or it's at a restaurant or it's at a furniture store, is because there's real costs associated with taking those credit cards. That's how Visa and MasterCard and Amex have gotten so wealthy on those fees. And that's how those points are paid for, right? And all those loyalty and those airport lounges and those costs have been absorbed by business owners forever. And dealerships are feeling that squeeze too. So what we wanted to do is find a way to ethically offer surcharging to dealers. But again, I said at the top of this, we're about customer interactions. Right. And if at the end of the day, the interaction is you upset your customer, that's probably not the right way to do it. So we've dug into this and really found ways to deliver surcharge options to dealers that still inform the customer. And at the same time, help dealers navigate these extremely complex and rapidly evolving laws that vary from state to state. There's a very narrow swim lane you have to be in on how you handle this stuff. And so we've spent the last year or two really perfecting that. So how do you roll out surcharging? How do you do it in your different departments? How do you make sure you have the right signage, right? You didn't think about that necessarily, right? Where do you put that signage? How does it show up on a display? How do you reconcile it back digitally? How do you put it all together so at the end of the day, it's seamless, it doesn't offend anyone, it helps recover costs, and we're seeing dozens of stores have been taking advantage of it. I mean, it is huge. We're seeing more and more every week. We're trying to keep up with the demand as quickly as we can. So that's really what's going on. I feel like 4 or 5 years ago, we weren't even talking about surcharges, but dealers have to be concerned about recouping that cost. And we're not trying to no one's trying to make a profit off surcharge. Let's be clear about that. But if we can eliminate those charges and pass that down to the bottom line, that's helping dealers. And I see Robert there says he's been piloting it in his stores as well. So that's awesome to hear.
And by the way, Robert's a big group, Carter Myers Automotive. Robert, you can give us the exact number. I think it was 24 stores, but now I see some announcements in the last couple of days. But they're a big group to be doing that. And like you said, Matt, you have to post some signage where you post it. And then in some states you can and can't do it. So you can help mentor dealers on that, on the way to get that done, I guess.
Yeah, the laws vary from state to state. Hey, there's Ed. And it varies from state to state. There's some states that you can't do it in necessarily. I'm going to put a plug out here, Ted. On Wednesday, April 25th, we're actually hosting a webinar at MyKaarma where we've got people who are not just payments experts, but automotive payments experts. That's what sets us apart in this area. There are surcharge companies out there and payments companies, absolutely. But we've got the automotive and the payments expertise. So we're doing a webinar then. If you're interested, we'd love to have you on it.
Well, I think, Jamie, that answers your question, or at least part of your question, right, on overcoming objections, because I'm sure some customers may have objections on that, or they haven't seen it before, right? It's something new. So it's going to have to be disclosed, Matt, right?
Yeah. So training platforms, we've got an in-house team that handles this. When necessary, we go on site, we provide the training, we provide the talk tracks, we provide the signage, we help dealers make sure that you're doing this the right way. Again, I think all of us would agree that if you showed up and there's a surprise, here's a surcharge. Well, not only are you probably not doing it legally, you're probably upsetting your customers. And we know that this business is all about retention. It's all about making a customer happy so they come back. And we know that there's cost. We know there's expenses with vehicle service, but if we can do it in a way that makes everyone happy, that's what we're trying to do.
And amazing what Ed has done, right, with mobile, just to kind of latch onto that for a moment, that whole mobile business. I know every time we get together for the panel, in fact, Mark, we're going to have to schedule that, I think, really soon to get everyone all in one place. But Ed's numbers keep going up. We went from 10 mobile service units, to 15 to 20. I interviewed him a couple of weeks ago with Damon Gregg, who came down from Canada, biggest Ford dealer in Western Canada. And Ed was saying they have 40 mobile vans on the ground right now, 40. So,
well, and what Ed's doing there, right? Just thinking about it from the customer's perspective is so amazing, right? And how do I go service a customer to where they're at, which is just awesome.
Yeah. Well, our next question for you is, what are you seeing with the BDCs right now?
Yeah, BDCs. So it may seem unusual, but I'm good friends with the head of engineering at MyKaarma, and not every day that the marketing guy and the engineering guy are hanging out, right? We kind of speak different languages sometimes, right?
Yeah.
But he and I have been really passionate about what BDCs mean for dealerships, and this has been this evolving area, especially for efficiency for dealerships. How do you maximize appointments, talking to customers, reaching out to customers to schedule their next appointment? Well, the secret is all in BDCs. And I think one thing that is really important to always acknowledge is a BDC has so many definitions. There's some that don't even call them a BDC, right? They call them a customer information center, customer experience center, business development center. Sometimes it's its own building. And we've got dealer groups that work with us that have a huge dedicated building where there's tons of agents doing inbound and outbound. We have some that everyone's remote, right? They're all working from home and they're tied right into the MyKaarma system. And then sometimes you've got the two computers upstairs or next to the service director's office, and that's your entire BDC for the group. And so we're seeing a couple things in there. And I get passionate. I never thought I'd get passionate about BDCs, but we actually host a forum where we bring in some of our big BDC group leaders and just hear from them. We don't talk about MyKaarma during the meetings. We just hear what's going on in the space. They always bring up MyKaarma. They say what's going on with the tools, but we want to hear with them. And we're hearing a couple things out there in BDCs. One is not all BDCs are the same. Like I said, after COVID, some went remote. Some went back into back into offices. Some are doing it store by store. So there's no one size on a BDC. The second thing we're seeing is a tie into AI tools. How do you use these tools? Stella.ai is one of them out there. There's a number of other AI tools, and it's getting to the point you may not even realize you're talking to an AI agent on the phone. So how do you incorporate that experience into it? Because again, kind of like we talked about the payments world, if you have a bad experience calling in to set an appointment, the whole thing's ruined. So they're trying to improve that. How do you tie it in? When's the right time to use AI? Is it for a basic oil change? Is it just routing it to the right person? Or when do you need what I call actual intelligence, right? When do I need to talk to a right person and route it? So we're working with the dealer groups and integrating those AI tools directly into the MyKaarma communication system and working with them to build that tech stack, which is really exciting. The other thing we're doing there is, kind of upping our game. I talked about all the different areas we do. We're doing marketing for dealers too. So we call it Service Connect. We just launched it. It's outbound marketing. We can communicate to customers through text, have a mass communication go out, but it's still personalized. So you're not spamming customers. And again, every part of this has to be around the experience. It can't just be, I'm doing surcharges, I'm blasting emails. We've got to think about what it looks like for the customer. So how can I send messages out asking if they're ready for their appointment, letting them know that they have recalls? And when they text or call back, can I have that conversation the way the customer wants to? So Ed knows this with mobile service. If someone wants to talk on the phone or they want to text you, you've got to be ready to have that conversation and handle it there. So we've been empowering BDCs to have the communication with the customer, how the customer wants it. What tools do they want to integrate? How are their BDCs set up? Are they, distributed? Are they centralized? Whatever. So a lot of exciting stuff going on with BDCs. Like I said, I never thought I'd get excited about it, but there's just endless amounts of stuff to do with BDCs.
Yeah. It's always about making the customer happy, whatever they want. Back to what you said about retention.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's got to be instant, right? Like Tony said, if I send you a message and you send me a message back, think about this, right? Text messaging is interesting. It's asynchronous, which means I can send a message and I can wait for someone to get back, but people want a response right away.
Right.
I don't want to wait 2 hours for you to tell me if I can get an appointment or 2 hours if you can bring your vehicle out. I want to know right now.
And look at Ed's mantra, meeting the customers where they are and how they want to, nobody wants to go to a dealership, right? And, spend hours and hours in a waiting room or waiting for their vehicle, Matt. And you bring all that technology right up front.
Yeah. You either can't, you don't want to, or sometimes you can't, right? I mean, I can't get across town to go do it. So it's awesome that we can meet the customers where they want to be.
And Matt, we didn't have all this technology, even 5 years ago or a little bit more, right? This is all really new in our space.
Mm-hmm. You think about it, you think about how fast this tech is evolving, right? If 5 years ago we'd come on and talked about AI, everyone would go, what are these guys talking about? This isn't science fiction. And now we're using Chat GPT to answer questions and, do our work. So it's part of it now. The one example I always think of is how pervasive QR codes have become. Remember, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, no one used a QR code, and now you go to any restaurant, you see any sign, you see stuff pop up and there's a QR code, right? So this technology grabs this momentum and you've got to be ready to adapt to it.
Yeah, I like it. I like all the stuff that MyKaarma's got going on. So.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes sense. Okay. I mean, because Matt, other industries are doing these things, it's not new, we're just, really following.
Yeah, exactly. I think, the criticism of our industry has always been, we've been slow to react. Right. And I know dealers know this in a past life, in my auto industry experience, dealers didn't want to put pricing of cars on the website. Right? Oh, no, you call me, I'll give you the price. Well, if I can go on Best Buy and see a price, I should be able to see the price for a new car. And then that evolved into service. And now we, just like Tracy's saying there, customers demand to be where they're at. So everyone's living their life on their phone. So much of our lives we do on our phone. So we've got to be there for them and we've got to anticipate that.
So Matt, what's next? What's coming? What are you guys working on there that you could share with us?
Yeah, so we're continuing to evolve some of this AI piece here. Of course, some of the things that we're doing internally. We didn't talk about it today, but we've got a tool called Service Cart Video MPI. It's our multi-point inspection tool, and we're bringing more and more enhancements to that. So making that more customer focused, adding more customizations there for customers, and yes, by the way, that all ties right back into that communication piece. It ties back into the payments piece out there. So we're just constantly evolving all of this stuff.
Exciting time to be in our industry,
isn't it? Yeah.
Katrina, your thoughts? I mean, this is very far away from the 90s, right? So
very far, and I'm just thinking like everything's moving so fast. Like I don't know what's going to happen in the next week with AI and how it's going to affect, every day-to-day life and business and whatnot. But
Katrina, this 90s theme, I mentioned at the top, I had my little 90s Ford Escort I was driving around in. And I remember when I would do deliveries, I had a big literal map. Ted, I'm talking about the map where each page, you flip over and there's a grid, okay, well, this person lives here. So it's on grid A5 and you're flipping through and trying to figure it out. And then what was it? 5-10 years later, you have MapQuest. We're printing out the instructions. Got the printout. Then you had your big GPS thing, and then, as someone said, right, it's all on our phones now. So Ed's team isn't printing those things out. They're using it all on their phone. Yeah, like Tracy said, right? Those maps, that communication, everything's happening on the phone now. It's amazing how fast it's moving.
Those maps were very inconvenient, like you said, MapQuest to print that out and carry all that around. And
yeah, so absolutely.
All right. So Northwood University, Katrina and Vanessa both go to school there. You've got an event coming up later in the spring, Katrina, and I know you are championing that. You talked about earlier on the roundtable on the After Dark show. Tell us about that. What's going on?
The full tank camp?
Yeah.
So I was talking about it in the green room with Matt, but we do a camp at Northwood University that's for incoming high school students all the way up to graduated high school students that are about to enter college. So they kind of get a step into the automotive industry. We get to interact with the future of our industry. And it's just fun. We bring up a bunch of, industry professionals that get to have fun with them and teach them a lot of things. They go on different field trips. And this is all held at our campus up in Midland, Michigan for a week long, June 23rd through the 28th. And the Fixed Ops Roundtable, along with other friends, will be there.
Yeah, so this is a week-long camp. General Motors is helping to, subsidize the cost, I think, for the students. So this is kind of like the future of automotive, I guess.
It really is. It really is. And it does a lot for Northwood too, because it kind of gets the kids like a taste of it and what we kind of do here. So it brings us in some people who are really passionate about the automotive industry that we can help, learn and grow to be the best for the future.
So I heard we're going to do an after dark show from Northwood while we're there. And then the big day is what, Wednesday, the 26th of June?
Wednesday, yes. It will be that Wednesday is when everyone will be up. And again, like Ted said, we'll have our after dark show. We'll do some pop-up events with students getting involved in that. And also just, again, our other friends that are coming up. I know Sean Kingery is very passionate about wanting to come up. So he is more than welcome to, and we'll get him over those details and it'll be a good time.
And you've got some breakout sessions coming up, I heard, and perhaps some competitions and things like that. If you want to, any of that you could share yet or not yet?
Yeah, of course. So we're planning on doing different breakout sessions where the students can hear from, any kind of different company or different aspect of the industry. So if MyKaarma wanted to come up and do a little breakout session, explain to the kids what you guys do there and how it benefits the industry. So anything from that to, dealer operators coming up and talking. And then we're also going to have some fun interactive games like, are you smarter than an industry professional? The other day I brought up, like, imagine Tully Williams losing a long division problem to like a 13-year-old. Like,
that might happen.
See that.
Yeah. So we'll have a lot of fun like that, a lot of fun interactive activities, and it'll be fun. It'll be like camp,
So we're going to broadcast that, Matt, and we'll have professional photographer there. We'll be taking the pictures. And last time we were up there, you mentioned in October, we ran into a lot of people. We ran into Brian McDonald from CDK Global, the president and CEO, and we had some pretty big interviews on there, including Katrina Ness, who was on a panel, and Vanessa Collins, who was working behind the scenes to document the whole thing.
That's awesome. That's really cool that you guys are doing that. That's really neat.
So
it's great. We'll have a fun time.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, though, we're going to have our 90s event that's coming up in May. Vanessa, we've been doing some trivia. What do you got for us tonight?
Yeah, so we've been doing some trivia, basically taking some of our friends here at the Fixed Ops Roundtable and finding pictures of them from the 90s, and our viewers in the comments have to guess who it is based off of what they looked like in the 90s. So today is going to be short and sweet. We have one 90s star to guess. So if you have any guesses on who this is, make sure to leave them in the comments.
All right. So can you give us some clues, Vanessa?
Yeah. So
who this might be?
For sure. This is a very recent guest of our After Dark show. Okay. Very recent.
Okay. I like the sweater.
It's good looking sweater.
Good looking sweater, right, Matt? Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's he involved with in automotive?
I think that turtleneck really ties that whole look together there.
Tony, are you saying Brian Kramer? Is that who it is?
I could see that.
Yeah, it could be Brian Kramer, yeah. But it's not.
This 90s rock star is involved with marketing.
Okay.
Yes, good hint.
And we've met him, Katrina?
We have recently.
Marketing guru.
Chat has gone quiet.
Yeah. Does anybody have any guesses? Take a shot in the dark, you guys.
I like the hair. The hair looks good.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, here's Ed Roberts.
Ed, you are a smart man.
Yeah.
That is Matt Bateman. Our very own guest tonight.
Look at that.
I love it. And earlier in the chat room, Matt showed us the original, and believe it or not, there's a very cute little kitty sitting on his lap in this picture.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. The 90s were crazy, weren't they?
They were a good decade. Yeah. So we're bringing it back. Well, Matt, we want to thank you for being here, being our guest tonight. Now the comments are coming in. Now that
thank you, Tony. Thank you. I had a little bit more hair then, but yeah, thank you.
If you don't mind, Katrina, give us the date again for the big event in May for the Fixed Ops Roundtable 90s.
Of course. The dates are May 13th through the 16th. So get your complimentary tickets for those right now, because the event will come up faster than you know it.
All right. So register now, everybody. Also, you'll be eligible to win the Apple Vision Pro. We got a great 4-day lineup and a lot more to come on that over the next couple weeks. So, Matt, very grateful to you in MyKaarma.
Thanks, guys. This was fun.
It was so nice meeting you, Matt.
Nice to meet you.
Absolutely. All right, Ted, we'll see you for the roundtable.
We'll see you all for the roundtable. And on behalf of Katrina and Vanessa and Matt, I'm Ted Ings. We'll see you back here on Monday night.
Good night.